Hello everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Today we're going to talk about lifestyle changes that you can make if you are living by yourself, living alone. Now, we did an article previously on this and so many women talked about the fact that they were just enjoying living by themselves, having the independence and the freedom to do whatever they wanted. And it really was so touching that so many people had waited, so long to have that kind of lifestyle that they wanted. But maybe when you get there, there's in the isolation and that little bit of loneliness, but there are some things you can do, I think, with your lifestyle as a living alone solo woman to really make the most of it. Now, I live alone and I always have something to do. I like my company. I like coming home to my space and being able to just sit down in a world that is that is surrounded by things that I love, the things I treasure, and I'm sure that's part of what you do too. But I think that there's a couple of things that I know I've got to do a little bit more of, and one of them is to cultivate hobbies. Now, I love doing certain things. I've talked about my necklaces. In fact, this necklace I bought at a charity shop in the UK. And I just love the design of some of the little beads. It was just so interesting and funky. This bead in the middle was broken. It was actually, well, not broken, it was kind of torn. There had been some fabric there. So I painted it. I painted it gold. And I really, really love it. But hobbies for me, making jewelry, doing anything with paper, using my removable wallpaper to cover boxes. There's so many things that I love to do. But I think you can, take the time when you're living alone to say, well, why not? I always wanted to do pottery or painting or coloring or gardening. Maybe you've got that freedom now. So I would say this is an opportunity. If you live alone, just do your thing with your passions and your hobbies. Musical instruments, maybe learn another language. There's so many things. And as I'm even doing this video, I'm thinking, we've talked about this before. I could go to 60 and Me website and find 10 articles on hobbies in retirement. But I'm trying in this video to talk about things that you now are living alone, you're in your own space. What can you do? You've got that room, maybe you can turn it into a craft room. There's so many things. But tell us, share what you do. Another thing, of course, is to stay active. Now, and I've talked about this at the beginning, that there's a tendency to stay inside and to, do things around your home, or maybe, just like we're talking about hobbies, but to get out is really important too. And I was listening to a video this morning about, aging and aging around the world in places that, people live a long time. And they were talking about countries where we used to live in a rural environment where we spent 95% of our time outside and 5% inside, and now it's reversed. We spend 95% of our lives sometimes inside our home and then 5% out. And that's the secret for a lot of people who write about this stuff to a healthier, more, what's the word? Not anti-aging, but kind of proactive aging lifestyle. So get out there, do things. Yesterday, I must admit, I'm guilty of this. I sat inside for 5 hours, and admittedly, I'm getting a little bit over this operation I had, and I'm trying to relax a bit. But I actually went outside after a while, and I felt so much better. And I was reading and just writing, and doing it outside just felt beautiful. So that's an option to consider. Go outside. Another thing that you sometimes lack when you are living alone, and that is contacts with people. Now, as I've said, I love my company. You probably do too if you're living alone. And if you're not, maybe you're thinking, well, this is something I'd like to consider doing. At least if you have, or in a relationship and with someone, just have a room. That's your room. That's your living alone room where it can be totally yours, or a space in a house. Maybe it's your garden. Maybe you make a little shed in the back. That's your little cave, woman cave. But anyway, there's so many things. But you do tend sometimes to get isolated. And so one of the things as a lifestyle shift is to make an effort. Go out to volunteer or go to help, just in the community. Attend a community activity. Do something that, you've maybe never done before. Go to a theater production or a musical, or just anything that you can find that's going to create a friendship network. It doesn't have to be besties, but someone that you enjoy being with, similar interests, like-minded. You don't need a ton of friends. You just need a few good friends. And those can be people that you see every day, talk to every day, or maybe once a year. I actually am going to visit a friend of mine in England in September, who I haven't seen in a year. We've both been through quite a bit, actually. Stop to think about it. But, we're on WhatsApp and chat with each other now and again. But she's still a really important person. So build those friendships. Socialize. Make an effort. They won't come knocking on your door. We've talked about this before. Travel and explore. Okay, so maybe not everybody wants to travel, but for me as a lifestyle, that is important to me. And as I've mentioned many times, it's not always getting on a boat or a train or even it's just sometimes just walking down to or getting on a local bus to the next city or next town. Finding a cafe, sitting down, looking at new people, looking at people walking their dogs and just making associations with lifestyle. And, I think it's more, well, maybe that phrase, travel and explore, it's more on the explore. Don't be afraid to try new things and just have a go. I mean, goodness sake, you might go somewhere and really not like it, or you might feel uncomfortable or whatever, but you tried. And I think it's those moments of exploration that, I mean, they've actually showed this, it actually slows down time when you're experiencing new things for the first time. That's why kids are like, time flies. They just are always doing something for the first time. But you can do that too. Lifelong learning. Okay, this is one that I think is such an important lifestyle to consider. I mean, for many of you, I'm actually talking to everybody here, not just women that live alone, that lifelong learning is something that as you have the chance to choose, I wanted to learn about medieval history. I always wondered, what the answer to this question was. I'm going to take a course on it. I've always wanted to learn how to be more on social media, learn about, how to do videos or how to even do a blog. Why not? I started when I was 64. No problem. Just go for it. But those kinds of things of expanding your knowledge and always having an attitude of gratitude and also of learning, I think it's important. And there's so many places now. I mean, you are not short of, even if you don't want to do, Udemy or Coursera or some of those, online structured courses, there's YouTube. There's all kinds of social media where you can learn, honestly, just about anything. It's amazing. So, and of course, if anybody's interested in artificial intelligence, I know that there's a little, circling around, tentatively about that. But then again, you can learn so much from that, from asking a simple question. Yesterday, somebody recommended to me a book. I asked people what their favorite book was, and they recommended a book, and it sounded so interesting. I didn't know the author, and it didn't actually sound like, I was curious why a person in our community would want to read this book. So I just went to ChatGPT and I said, can you give me a brief 1-paragraph summary of this book? And they did, and it looks so interesting, and I genuinely think it's worth reading. So I went back and left a comment. But anywho, learning and exploring. Volunteering I've mentioned, exploring technology. Now this is, kind of gets into what I'm talking about here, about don't be afraid of new things. Maybe I'm talking to the wrong group, because to be honest, we've been through it all, right? 1990, 4-3, we learned about, the world of the internet, and it was scary. What on earth, how is that working? And we just got through things, and we have dealt with change. It's one of our strengths, one of our resiliencies, I think, that we can say, we've taken on new things, we get it, we're not scared, we can learn, may not like it, we may have the wisdom because we have seen how things can go wrong. There's certainly things that have gone wrong with the internet, in the sense that it's harmed a lot of people in all different ways. But then again, it's helped the world. I just, my recent doctor's experience with my surgery, it was like I appreciated the internet. I appreciated technology. It was just, it sped everything up. It was efficient, made me feel safer. So anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but you get the point. We can handle technology. We can do this. Next thing, I think this number 8 is to prioritize self-care. Do little spa days. You're sitting home alone, you've got your whole space to yourself, or you've got that room that I told you about to create, and just take care of yourself. And, do some research on things that are important. I actually wanted to share, I must share this because I've got it sitting on my desk, and I didn't mean to do this, but I always use, Growing Younger Gracefully, which is this beautiful serum. I've been using it now for, I don't know, at least 8 years. And it's by a woman called Sheena Sarles. And Sheena I met in Bali. This is really cool. And I'll put a link in the thing. She's just come out with an eye serum. And this eye serum is, it's obviously a little bottle, but it's very powerful. And I've actually put it on my eyes today. And I have wrinkles and crinkles, as most of us do in our 70s. And this is amazing. I don't know what magic she's put in there. I should probably do some checking with my magnifying glass to see if I can see the ingredients. Coconut, almond, avocado, grapeseed, heliosecrum, and what's that one say? I think it was, it says castor. Oh, that's interesting, castor oil. Okay, well that's what's in this little eye serum. But the point, self-care, take care of yourselves. Finally, create a safe and comfortable home. You're getting older, recognize some of the boundaries, some of the mobility challenges, some of the things that are just gonna make you safer and more comfortable, and just go for it. It's okay. There may be some things that you never wanted to deal with, a handrail in the bathroom or, extra, hand railings or whatever, less slippable rugs. Just do it. Take care of yourself. So those are some ideas that I've got for lifestyles you can shift into when you're living alone or anytime really. Leave your comments in the section below. Tell us what you do. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, please do that, because you'll get told when my videos come out 4 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And also, if you are interested in our supporters group called Patreon, this is a cool group. It's about, I think about 1,000 women now, but it's a small enough group that we get together on live shows. Women have met each other in person in the real world and gone on cruises together, gone and traveling. We've organized some little travel things just between us as well. We've got one coming up in November. But anyway, please, if you're interested, Patreon is our supporters group. And just know that whatever your situation or your level of engagement or whatever, 16andMe is here for you. We care, and we look forward to your comments to all these articles and videos. Take good care, everybody. Sending you lots and lots of love. Bye-bye for now.